But first of all, thank you all so much for joining us today. My name is Gabrielle Vance. I am here at the Mountain Research Initiative in Bern, Switzerland, and joined by colleagues from Central America and the tropical Andes region, and also from other institutions here in Switzerland. And we're really excited to be working on bilateral academic exchange between Switzerland and the tropical Andes and Central America region. So today, we're helping students and teachers and professors discover opportunities for people from the Andes Plus region to come to Switzerland. And in a subsequent event, we will explore opportunities going the other direction. So I just want to draw everyone's attention to the program here, let you know that we are recording. So just know that if you turn on your video, your image will be recorded and the recording will be shared after we conclude. In a moment, my colleague Alexandra will tell us a bit more in Spanish about Conéctate A+, the cluster of cooperation that we're a part of. We'll hear from my colleague at the University of Zurich, Randy Muñoz, about the student experience as someone from the tropical Andes and Central America region studying in Switzerland. Sedef Biçer from the University of Zurich as well will share about Swiss scholarship opportunities. And Henriette Graf from the University of Bern will let us know about exchange opportunities. And then we will have, I'll share again. We will have, we hope, plenty of time for questions and answers. And we hope for a very interactive discussion. So if at any point you have a question, feel free to write it in the chat, or you can ask directly using your audio and video if you like at the end of our program today. So since a few more folks have just joined us, I want to make sure, again, everyone knows that you can click on the globe at the bottom of your screen. That's where interpretation options are. There are also instructions in the chat. And then you can select English or Spanish as the audio channel you would like to hear. And please just stay in that audio channel for the duration of today. That will work the best. Okay, so thanks again. Welcome. I'd like to turn it over to my colleague Alexandra Garces, who will explain a bit more about what is Conéctate A+, connect yourself to the Andes Plus region. So Alexandra, I will stop sharing and you can introduce yourself and introduce the clock. Thanks so much.
Bueno, muy buenos días con todas y con todos. Me presento, mi nombre, como mencionó Gabriel, es Alexandra Garcés. Yo trabajo en Condesan y llevo los temas de la red Conéctate A+. Entonces, un poco para ponernos en contexto de qué es la red Conéctate A+, como lo mencioné, es una red de investigadores e instituciones que están interesadas en investigar con un enfoque interdisciplinario los problemas y retos relacionados a ecosistemas, cambio climático y salud. Y esto en conjunto con el desarrollo sostenible en la región de los Andes tropicales y América Central. Entonces, el enfoque de la región Conéctate A+, es en los Andes centrales y los Andes tropicales. América Central y los Andes tropicales. Entonces, nosotros tenemos por objetivo fortalecer la capacidad para lograr los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible en esta región, proporcionando una plataforma adecuada para promover la generación de conocimientos, el intercambio de información y las oportunidades de colaboración académica entre universidades suizas y otros actores claves en nuestra región que tienen un papel activo en este debate, en la formulación de información, de políticas para la región. La red Conéctate A+, tiene 4 actividades importantes que vamos desarrollando. Entonces empezó en el 2018 y ahora justo estamos iniciando, digamos, cerramos la primera fase y estamos iniciando nuestra segunda fase de la plataforma Conéctate A más. Entonces tenemos 4 actividades importantes. La primera, lógicamente, es como promover este tipo de intercambios que estamos teniendo ahora y las reuniones virtuales y no virtuales entre universidades suizas y universidades de la región de los Andes tropicales y América Central para intercambio de información. La segunda también es la difusión de avances. Ustedes, tal vez alguno de ustedes ha podido tener noticias de la red. Entonces también promovemos oportunidades, por ejemplo, de becas, difundimos oportunidades de investigación, este tipo de webinars. Entonces ese es otro componente nuestro muy importante. Tenemos una plataforma virtual. Poco a poco la estamos actualizando, pero tenemos una plataforma virtual donde esperamos que sea una herramienta para promover el intercambio de información. Y tenemos unas becas, tenemos un programa de becas que lo sacamos regularmente para promover depende mucho de la convocatoria de las becas, pero convocatorias, por ejemplo, para entender mejor la contribución a los ODS, para entender mejor el vínculo entre ecosistemas, cambio climático y salud. Entonces, esa es otra actividad muy importante que desarrollamos. Y bueno, por mencionarles por qué estamos, digamos, yo como Condesan, nosotros como Condesan, como el MRI y como la Universidad de Zurich, somos los quienes, digamos, estamos impulsando la red con algunas otras instituciones que son aliadas. Entonces, bueno, esa es una pequeña introducción. Les agradezco muchísimo por estar aquí, por acompañarnos en este importante webinar para promover este intercambio entre las universidades suizas y de nuestra región de los Andes tropicales y América Central. Muchísimas gracias, Gabriel.
Thanks so much, Alexandra. Gracias. So yeah, Alexandra, Randy, and I get the great opportunity to work together representing the 3 organizations that are the co-heads of the Cluster of Cooperation Conéctate A+. So I'm from the Mountain Research Initiative in Switzerland. Alexandra is from Condesan in Central America, and Randy is from Peru originally, right, but works at the University of Zurich and is also a PhD candidate there. And just to share that the whole idea for this entire series and for today's event grew out of a conversation I had with Randy, where he mentioned that applying for a Swiss Excellence Scholarship and studying here in Switzerland, he found out that there typically weren't too many other applicants, or that some of the opportunities weren't super well known in the tropical Andes and Central America region. So that's what we're trying to address here today, is make sure everyone knows about all the great opportunities that are available in both regions. So thanks so much, Randy, for sharing your experience with us today. Please feel free to share your screen and your slides, and yeah, your thoughts on the student perspective.
Ok, gracias Gabriel, creo que sí me escuchan. Bienvenidos a todos a este webinar en el que vamos a compartir un poco ideas, expectativas sobre cómo podemos mejorar este tipo de transición entre hacer estudios dentro de la región andina, pero también hacer estudios dentro de Suiza. Entonces, en esta oportunidad lo que les voy a comentar un poco es la experiencia del estudiante. Como indicaba Gabriel, nació esta idea de una conversación en la cual pensábamos de qué manera podemos, a través de la red Conéctate, facilitar que más estudiantes, que más profesionales de Sudamérica en general puedan hacer estudios también dentro de Suiza. Entonces, lo que les voy a comentar ahora es un poco algo de lecciones aprendidas que he podido tener a lo largo de mi experiencia haciendo estudios fuera, y tal vez algunos pequeños puntos que sí me parecen importantes tener en cuenta al momento de hacer esta decisión y hacer estudios nuevamente en el extranjero, y tal vez llamar su atención para que puedan hacer estudios particularmente en Suiza. Entonces, he dividido esta presentación en 3 grandes preguntas. La primera de ellas es, efectivamente, ¿es bueno estudiar en el extranjero? Y quisiera repartir la respuesta tocando varios aspectos. No tanto para explicar los pro y contra, pero sí aspectos que debemos tener en cuenta al momento de decidir si hacemos un estudio fuera. El primero de ellos es el enfoque. Realmente, si nosotros hacemos estudios generalmente dentro de nuestros propios países, el enfoque será principalmente de tener profesionales que puedan aplicar conocimientos existentes, y las universidades se enfocan bastante en hacer ese tipo de iniciativas y de formación de los estudiantes. Mientras que si nosotros tenemos la intención de hacer estudios en el extranjero, definitivamente hay mucho mayor énfasis en la academia, en la investigación. Entonces, y esto incluso se nota mucho más al momento de hacer un doctorado, que es algo importante que debemos tener en cuenta. No es una limitación al fin y al cabo, pero es importante saber que en las universidades en el extranjero hay mucha mayor incidencia en querer hacer publicaciones, en hacer investigación de calidad, mientras que en nuestros propios países probablemente las universidades están más enfocadas en tener profesionales que puedan aplicar esos conocimientos a resolver problemas muy específicos. El otro aspecto importante es el tema de las redes. Lo más común, por ejemplo, al hacer estudios dentro de nuestros países es, si compartimos aula con colegas, es posible que estos colegas estén desarrollando algún proyecto de infraestructura o algún proyecto de inversión en esos momentos. Entonces es muy fácil comenzar a hacer redes con ellos y probablemente mantenernos en el mercado laboral. Pero si hacemos estudios en el extranjero, las redes van a ser diferentes. Obviamente va a ser una red mucho más global, lo que nos puede traer otro tipo de oportunidades, pero el mercado laboral puede que sea completamente diferente, y es algo que hay que tomar en cuenta. El tema de las oportunidades viene precisamente relacionado al tema de las redes, y es que las oportunidades laborales pueden ser mucho más inmediatas cuando hacemos estudios dentro de nuestros países. Ya lo había comentado antes. Podemos compartir aulas, salón de clases con un colega que tal vez está haciendo un proyecto de infraestructura, necesita algún especialista, y ese especialista podemos ser nosotros, y de inmediato podemos entrar a ese mercado laboral. En el extranjero debemos tomar las cosas tal vez como a mediano plazo o a largo plazo. Hay que tomar en cuenta que si decidimos hacer estudios fuera, muy probablemente esa plaza laboral que nosotros estamos dejando sea ya tomada por una persona adicional. Y entonces es importante que nosotros comencemos a ver que las oportunidades van a ser diferentes, pero también significa que hay que comenzar a pensar a mediano, a largo plazo en una planificación. Y ese es precisamente el otro aspecto, que si hacemos estudios fuera, vamos a estar probablemente 1 año, 2 años o 3 años, dependiendo de cuál es el modelo de estudio, vamos a estar fuera de ese mercado laboral. Entonces, es importante que podamos planificar si nosotros tenemos una idea de regresar a nuestros países, y si queremos regresar a nuestros países para volver a ese mercado laboral, es importante mantener las redes existentes para no desaparecer de ese mapa. Mientras que si hacemos estudios dentro de nuestros países, esas redes se mantienen activas y laboralmente también los mantenemos activos. Entonces, es una planificación tal vez más del día a día. Y finalmente, otro aspecto importante es el de lo que le llamo vida personal. En nuestros propios países este tema tal vez puede ser más tradicional, lo que no significa que sea malo ni mucho menos, pero definitivamente que hacer estudios en el extranjero nos permite tener una visión del mundo mucho más amplia, y eso es muy conocido. No es lo mismo pasar 30 días de vacaciones que realmente vivir el día a día en otro país con diferentes condiciones, con diferentes contextos, lo que finalmente nos enriquece mucho como personas y profesionales a mediano y largo plazo. La otra pregunta que quería comentar es el tema de financiamiento. Y en este aspecto hay muchos puntos que se pueden tocar. Lo único que yo quisiera mencionar es, digamos, estos 4 tipos de financiamientos que existen para hacer estudios en el extranjero. Obviamente podemos hacerlo por nuestra propia cuenta. Existen las becas internacionales, las becas nacionales, y existen los préstamos bancarios. Y definitivamente lo que yo quisiera sugerirles es que vayamos siempre por las becas. Los préstamos bancarios pueden ser una opción, pero sugeriría que siempre se dejen como una última opción, precisamente porque si salimos del mercado laboral y además cogemos un préstamo bancario, cuando regresemos tenemos que pagar esos préstamos bancarios. Entonces, puede que se convierta en una condicionante o en una limitante al momento de decidir cuál es el futuro o cuáles son los siguientes pasos después de hacer un estudio en el extranjero. Y entre las becas siempre es importante tomarla en cuenta cuáles son las condiciones que las becas exigen. En muchos casos las becas de nuestros países lo que exigen es que una vez que los estudios han terminado, nosotros podamos regresar a otros países precisamente para compartir ese conocimiento adquirido, lo que es bastante válido. Pero existen también otro tipo de becas en los que no hay esta exigencia de regresar. Entonces, uno puede tener una mayor variedad de oportunidades para poder realizar una vida profesional después de hacer los estudios en el extranjero. Y finalmente, algo que quería comentar es, ok, entonces, ¿a dónde voy? Suiza es realmente una buena opción y lo quisiera comentar con 3 aspectos. El primero de ellos es el académico. Definitivamente en Suiza tiene un muy alto nivel académico para hacer investigación, para hacer la formación profesional. Es uno de los pocos países, creo yo, en los cuales existe un gran intercambio entre las diferentes universidades. La Universidad de Zurich colabora muy de cerca con la Universidad de Bern, con la propia ETH, con otras universidades. Los intercambios son bastante más comunes. Es algo que no he visto mucho en otros países y es algo realmente que anima mucho a continuar a hacer estudios dentro de Suiza. Otro aspecto importante es el tema de calidad de vida. Definitivamente es un salto abismal. Mucha gente considera que efectivamente Suiza es bastante caro y eso hay que tomarlo en cuenta también, pero hay muchas cosas que uno puede hacer de forma gratuita dentro de Suiza. Entonces no es un aspecto que, digamos, deba tomarse como una limitante el hecho de que sea bastante caro. Hay muy buenas formas de disfrutar del país y de los espacios públicos y libres que son muy variados y que existen en gran número en Suiza, y realmente la calidad de vida enamora. Es una muy buena forma de venir y conocer algo más. Y el último punto que me gustaría tocar es el aspecto social. Las otras opciones para hacer estudios en el extranjero obviamente son España, para nosotros que es más fácil por el tema del idioma, pero también está Alemania, Francia. La limitante tal vez allí es cómo podemos encontrar a personas de todo el mundo dentro de estos países. Si, por ejemplo, alguien quisiera ir a España y sabe inglés, muy probablemente no vaya porque no conoce español. Y lo mismo ocurriría en Suiza, ocurriría en Francia y en Alemania. Si sabes inglés pero no sabes alemán, entonces no irás a Alemania. Si sabes inglés pero no sabes francés, probablemente no vayas a Francia. Pero si sabes inglés, realmente puedes estar y puedes hacer una vida social dentro de Suiza. Y esto abre realmente un abanico muy grande de posibilidades para que tengamos personas de todo el mundo, literalmente de todo el mundo, dentro de Suiza. El intercambio académico, el intercambio de perspectivas es mucho más amplio en Suiza que en otros lugares. Entonces, solamente para concluir, me gustaría comentar que es importante, es muy bueno hacer un estudio en el extranjero. Hay ciertos puntos que hay que tomarlos en cuenta para que esa transición finalmente, después de concluir estos estudios, sea lo más sencillo y lo más eficiente para nosotros mismos, sin que se convierta en un dolor de cabeza, tal vez por préstamos bancarios, etcétera. Pero es importante que al tomar estos puntos en cuenta podamos tener una decisión mucho más sencilla y una transición mucho más fácil. Entonces, muchas gracias por este tiempo. Te doy el pase, Gabriel.
Thanks so much, Randy. It's really great to hear the student perspective, and we definitely appreciate that and appreciate the encouragement. Just to note as well that we will, of course, send all of these slides to everybody after the meeting. So all of the links, Randy's email address that he just shared, all of that information you will receive after the meeting. So no need to take frantic notes or anything like that. So thanks again to Randy. Now we're really pleased to have Sedef Biçer, also from the University of Zurich, who is an international scholars advisor there, and will share a little bit about the Swiss Excellence Scholarship, which is one of the ones that Randy has, and also perhaps some other opportunities too, because as Randy said, Switzerland can at times be expensive, but you'd be surprised how many things are free and how much scholarship money is out there. So thanks so much. And Sedef, feel free to share your screen and your slides.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle, for this short introduction. I'm just trying to share my screen here. Just a sec. Can you see it now? Can you see the presentation? I'm sorry to ask again.
Looks good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. So as Gabrielle said, I'm going to talk about the Swiss Government Excellence Scholarships mainly because it's super interesting for you, and you will see in a few minutes why. So first of all, let me introduce myself shortly as well. My name is Sedef Biçer, and I work at the International Scholars Center. We support international postgraduate students regarding non-academic questions like visa and entry into Switzerland, registration in Zurich, health insurance, getting settled in Zurich, and many more topics. So if you have questions, get in contact with me. And then let's start with our main topic, the Swiss Government Excellence Scholarships. Each year, the Swiss Confederation awards government excellence scholarships to promote international exchange and research cooperation between Switzerland and over 180 countries. Recipients like Randy are selected by the awarding body, the Federal Commission for Scholarships for Foreign Students, FCS. The Swiss Government Excellence Scholarships are aimed at young researchers from abroad, like you are, or future you, who have completed a master's degree or PhD, and at foreign artists holding a bachelor's degree. So, which types of scholarships are available? The research scholarship is available to postgraduate researchers in any discipline who hold a master's degree at least. Research scholarships are awarded for research or study at all Swiss cantonal universities, Universities of Applied Sciences, and the two federal institutes of technology in Lausanne and Zurich. And this is important now. Only candidates nominated by an academic mentor, a supervisor who supports you when it comes to your project from one of these universities will be considered. There are no scholarships available for students enrolled in bachelor's and master's degree program in scientific fields. Art scholarships are open to art students wishing to pursue an initial master's degree in Switzerland. The Swiss Government Excellence Scholarships are awarded for study at any Swiss conservatory or University of the Arts. These art scholarships are available for a limited number of students from a limited number of countries only. So, another important question, what are the selection criteria? So the candidate profile, academic profile, research capacity, and surely your motivation is within this candidate profile. That's important. And then B, quality of the research project or artistic work. It has to be original, and methodological soundness is key. C, synergies and potential for future research cooperation is also another criteria. And the next question, how does one apply for a Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship? You first have to select your country of origin according to your passport and check the application deadline and the different types of scholarships on offer, because that can vary from country to country. And how do you obtain the application forms? The application forms can be obtained via email from the Swiss embassy of your country of origin and from the competent national institution mentioned on the website. Where can you find specific details about the scholarship? All application formalities go through the Swiss embassy of your country of origin or through a competent national institution. You will find the corresponding contacts like email address, phone number in the documentation concerning the specific scholarships available in your country of origin. When is the next call for scholarship applications? Actually soon, in August, this August. So for the next academic year, it will be open this August. Since the duration of calls for scholarship applications may vary from country to country, you need to read the documentation specifically intended for your country of origin. Also submit your application by the deadline indicated in that specific documentation. The FCS will announce its decision regarding the new scholarship awards individually and directly to you by the end of May of the following year at the latest. So you can see it's a long process and the application procedure in a nutshell. So the release of the program for over 180 countries will be made in early August. The call for proposals will be this September. The submission deadline at Swiss representation is between September and December. It depends. So again, you need to read the documentation. I will show you then the link and where you get the specific documentations for each country. And then the selection, and next September, you will start your scholarship. So just to make you aware of some FAQs we have, just bear in mind, there is a high number of applicants. It is highly competitive, and I'm sure Randy can underline this fact. So a careful preparation and your targeted approach are key when it comes to your research idea. So, and the next question would be, who can help you find an academic supervisor? That's actually your own responsibility to find a suitable research supervisor. Before you contact a professor, please make sure to check, does this supervisor, my future supervisor, actually work in my research field, my field of interest? And then make sure that you possess all of the qualifications required for scientific collaboration. And for further information, I just wanted to share with you a YouTube video for, I think it's just 1 or 2 minutes, where you have the importance or how to find this supervisor or what to bear in mind again in this short video. Okay, and just to get you motivated, I shared some insights with ESCA's grant holders from all over the world. And one of our scholarship holders said, I benefited a lot in my research, and on a personal level, what I really appreciate is that the scholarship is fully supporting you with coordination during the whole period of your stay. Another one said from Cameroon, the quality of the training and access to the databases was just incredible. The welcome and the support for the fellows was visible despite the COVID restrictions. So thank you very much for your attention, and for further questions, I'm gladly, I am here to answer them.
Thank you so much, Sedef. It's great to hear a bit about the specific scholarship and institution where Randy is, and then to share about another institution in Switzerland, because as Randy mentioned, I'm a newcomer too, but it does seem like there's a lot of great collaboration and coordination among the different universities in Switzerland. So Henriette Graf, an exchange coordinator from the University of Bern, will tell us about some of the opportunities for exchanges there. And thanks again, Sedef, and go ahead, Henriette.
Yes, thank you, Gabriel. Let me just share my presentation. Yes, here we go. Okay. Yes, I would like to use my time to show you why you should consider an exchange at the University of Bern, what kind of opportunities we can offer you, and how to go about it if you're interested. So, yes. So, let's get started right away. Why complete an exchange with us? First of all, the University of Bern counts among the best percentage of universities worldwide. You can see here on this slide the 2019 rankings and also the areas of research for which we are known internationally. Climate science was already mentioned. Space exploration is another example. The University of Bern is a comprehensive university offering a broad range of study programs, all of which are open to exchange students with the exception of two, medicine and veterinary medicine. In terms of course selection, we can offer you great flexibility. If you've always been interested in taking a few courses in a different study field than your own, that would be possible here in Bern, even across faculties. So whether you want to combine economics with archaeology or gender studies with computer science, you will not be short of choices here in Bern. In addition, most master courses are open for advanced bachelor exchange students. Another reason why it is a good idea to come to Bern is the student life. The International Office organizes each semester an introduction week and a welcome reception so that exchange students can get to know each other. During the semester, the Erasmus Student Network offers numerous activities. To give you a few examples, a skiing weekend or a trip to a chocolate factory. Of course, during the pandemic, these activities are a bit limited, but they're still ongoing. If you're into sports, you will be happy to hear that we also offer quite a lot of sports courses. There is something for every taste and interest, from aerobics to yoga, and most of them are completely free of charge. And if you would like to learn German while you're here, or brush up your English skills, you can benefit from free language courses. Oh, apologies for that. So, finally, we also live quite well here in Bern, but also in general in Switzerland. Randy has also mentioned that. You can see here on the picture the old town of Bern with its typical sandstone buildings. There are a fine example of medieval architecture, which is also the reason why the old town in Bern is listed as a World UNESCO Heritage Site. Bern is the capital of Switzerland. We're located more or less in the middle of the country, close to the French-German language border. If the weather is good, as it is today, you can often see the Alps from the city. They're also quite close by, just an hour by train. Yeah, so let's now have a look at the exchange opportunities. But before that, here are a few more pictures from former exchange students of Bern and its surroundings, just to give you a first impression. And here are the three programs that cover three different cases. The worldwide exchange program is open to students from our partner universities. And if you're not sure whether your home university is a partner of Bern, you can click here on the link and check the list of partners. Then there is ISEP. ISEP is a program of which the University of Bern is a member. And if your home university is also part of this network, you could do an exchange via ISEP. Finally, if your home university is neither a partner university nor an ISEP member, you could come in the framework of the visiting students program. Now, there's an important difference between the first program and the two others. Participation in the worldwide exchange program is free, whereas there is a fee to be paid for the other programs. Here on this slide, you can see the most important requirements per program. If you're interested in, or if you're applying for the worldwide exchange or the ISEP program, you need to be enrolled in a partner or a member university, as mentioned, whereas it is enough to study at a recognized foreign university if you'd like to come with a visiting students program. For all programs, you should have at least a level of B2 in either German or English. And for the worldwide exchange and ISEP, you would have to provide proof of your skills. Now, the visiting students program is not asking for any proof, but we don't really recommend doing an exchange with a lower level. And for the worldwide exchange program and ISEP, you would have to be nominated by your home university for the exchange. So, how to start if you're interested? I would recommend first having a look at our course catalog and checking the course offer in your study field and maybe also other fields that are interesting to you. Once you've done that and you would like to apply for the worldwide exchange or ISEP, contact the international office of your home university. They can then tell you how to apply, what the deadlines are, and what kind of dossier you need to submit. If you intend to come as a visiting student, I would first check the fees, maybe put together a small budget, and then inform yourself about the application procedure and deadlines. All of that information you can find on our website. To finish my presentation, here are a few things that are good to know. Living costs are rather high in Switzerland. That has already been mentioned, although Randy has a different opinion. That's good to know. I just put here the amount which you need at your disposal per month. If you come to Bern, you will have to provide proof of that during your visa application. And please remember, Switzerland is not a centrally organized country, so that amount would probably be higher in Zurich and can vary depending on where exactly you want to go. I'd also like to highlight that there is a Swiss foundation that issues scholarships for exchange students, incoming as well as outgoing. So if you think, well, my budget might be a bit too tight, you can check their website. Then on our website, there is a whole lot of information. If you can't find the answer there, I'm also happy to answer questions, and I put here my email so that you can get in touch. Good. That was everything from my side. I will now stop sharing the presentation and hand over to Gabriel.
Thank you so much, Henriette. I know I personally can attest that it's worth visiting Bern just to swim in the Aare. Highly recommend. It's so much fun, just wonderful. I think that's unique, not just in Switzerland, in the world, but to have such a beautiful river right through the city with places to get in and out. And there's also a pool if you don't want to swim in the river. So many options, many options. Yeah, thank you so much. So I want to thank Alexandra, Randy, Sedef, and Henriette for everything you've shared so far. I know it's a lot of information and I definitely have a few questions myself, but at this point, we'd love to open it up for all of you. Thank you so much for coming, and please feel very free to ask questions. So you can, under reactions, you can raise your hand, you can turn on your video and raise your hand, you can write a question in the chat. You have a lot of different options, but this is your time to find out a bit more about some of the opportunities here in Switzerland. And if you need help getting unmuted, let me know. I know a few people joined a little bit later as well. Oh, sorry, let's see. We have a question from Frank. Regarding the option of being nominated from your home university, how is exactly that procedure about the Bern University? So this is a question for Henriette. And I forgot to mention, if you write in the chat, maybe say Henriette, Randy, or Sedef, or University of Zurich, University of Bern. So we know. Okay, so Henriette, a bit about the nominated by your home university.
Yeah.
Oh, fine, Frank. I forgot to mention that.
No problem. So first you will need to apply to your home university for an exchange. And if you're allocated an exchange spot, then they will automatically nominate you for the exchange. So this is not something that you have to worry about. Just contact the international office and ask them what you need to do in order to apply for an exchange. And then afterwards, the nomination is automatic once you're allocated a exchange.
Follow-up question, but this procedure is performed by my home university, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
That's a really good question. Thanks for sharing that. Anyone else with raise hands, chat? Okay. Sorry. Thanks, Francisco. Question for Sedef. Is August the usual deadline to apply for the scholarship calls at the University of Zurich every year? I mean, if the application process is quite detailed, it's necessary to know next year's deadlines. The current call for 22-23 is very close for someone interested in the exchange, but without any certificate, a clear research contact in Zurich, etc.
Yes, absolutely true. So you would actually apply then in August 2022. So, I mean, most of the people did already prepare everything to be able to apply for this August. So this would be quite a run at the moment. That's true, because the application takes time. And I'm sure, Randy, you can underline this fact, right? How long did your application take to prepare it?
Claro, definitivamente que esto es parte de lo que comentaba, que hay que planificar a mediano y largo plazo. En mi caso particular, la postulación era primero a través de la Oficina de Becas de Perú, y luego esta Oficina de Becas hacía primero una preselección, y luego la preselección la enviaba hacia la Oficina de Suiza para que ellos hagan la decisión final. Entonces, efectivamente es un proceso que puede durar hasta un año, y es un poco largo, pero es parte de los procedimientos. Y la única forma de poder atender a tiempo todas las fechas es si tenemos el contacto con los profesores o con los supervisores de antemano. Entonces, por ejemplo, si quisieran postular para comenzar estudios en el 2022, efectivamente, para estas fechas ya deberíamos haber tenido el contacto con los docentes o con los proyectos que puedan formar parte del proyecto de investigación.
Okay, thanks. Looks like we have several more questions in the chat, which is great to see. Thank you, everyone. So I think Juan was asking, I finished my master's degree in June, but my university doesn't graduate until December. Is it possible to apply this way? I don't know, maybe Henriette and Sedef both have thoughts for scholarships and for exchanges in that type of situation.
I mean, from my perspective, I don't know, Henriette, how it works at the University of Bern, but usually when you are in the process of finishing your master's, it's okay to provide your diploma afterwards. So you can actually apply beforehand, that's possible, but then you need to deliver your diploma afterwards, like as soon as possible, as soon as you have it.
Yeah, for us, the actual diploma wouldn't be even that important for an exchange. If you want to do an exchange as a PhD student, we would ask you for the last transcript of records, and I think that wouldn't be a problem to hand in. But yeah, it is. It's not uncommon that somebody has to submit certain documents later on, as long as it is confirmed by the home university. Not that big of a problem.
Thank you. So I'll skip in the order, but try to get to everybody. Don't worry. So Randy, there's a question for you from Pamela. Maybe you'd like to read it, but it looks like it's about getting in touch with research groups at the University of Zurich. Maybe you can address that in the chat.
Ok, claro, sí, lo pongo en el chat, pero tal vez para comentarlo muy rápido. Lo primero que hay que verificar es siempre los proyectos de investigación, y usualmente en cada grupo de investigación ya tiene publicado en su propia página web cuáles son los proyectos y cuáles son las actividades que están haciendo. Entonces, de esa manera uno puede verificar si el profesor con el que planeo ponerme en contacto está trabajando en el mismo tema que es de mi interés, y de esa forma uno puede tener un intercambio mucho más sencillo. Obviamente la mayoría de ellos lo que va a buscar es tener una idea de cuál es la experiencia que tú tienes. Entonces, al momento de hacer este primer contacto es importante explicar la idea de investigación, que esté bastante de la mano con alguno de los proyectos que el supervisor ya esté llevando a cabo. Son cosas que facilitan mucho el momento de hacer el primer contacto.
Thanks, Randy. So if it's okay, I'd like to combine two related questions that I think would be for both Henriette and Sedef. So the first part is, are there opportunities? This is from Fernanda. Are there opportunities for short-term scholarships, for example, up to a year, for someone doing a PhD in Argentina who would like to have a research exchange? Follow-up question to that from Juan Chavez. In Zurich and Bern, are there semi-presential study programs? One, I assume that means, are there programs where you can be there part of the time, maybe partly remote or partly in Central and South America, especially given our current situation? So maybe Henriette and Sedef can address those questions.
Should I start? Okay, the thing is, on PhD level, there is more flexibility when it comes to remote or not remote, as when it comes to master's degree or bachelor, that's not possible at the moment. I'm not aware of programs who could be done remote or yes, from somewhere else than in Switzerland. On PhD level and postdoctorate level, you have to be in constant exchange with your supervisor, as Randy mentioned also before. That's key, that's super important. When your supervisor says, okay, you know what, that's okay. When you do your data research or whatsoever from, I don't know, Argentina, and you are not in Zurich, that's okay, that's fine with me. Then the University of Zurich is flexible with that on PhD level and on.
Yeah, and so for exchanges, would be typically either 6 months or a year. And the foundation that I showed you, the Heining-Rowley Foundation, they issue scholarships for either 6 months or 12 months, depending on your stay. So that would be possible. And then I'm not aware that there are study programs that can be done half remotely. But if you're doing your PhD and are mainly researching, then I could imagine that as long as your supervisor is okay with it, that you could also do part of that research back home. But again, that would have to be checked also with the supervisor.
Thanks for
Solo para
addressing.
sumar, antes, dentro de la Universidad de Zúrich hemos tenido muchos casos en los que estudiantes de doctorado han venido y han hecho estancias cortas de 3 o 4 meses. Y lo único que ha sido necesario para eso es tener un contacto previo con el jefe de investigación o con un jefe de un grupo de investigación. Entonces, por ejemplo, si planeas utilizar algún laboratorio que no es bastante común en Sudamérica, pero sí se tiene en Suiza, ese tipo de actividades se puede hacer. Simplemente hay que hacer las conexiones con los responsables y en la mayoría de los casos los profesores están bastante abiertos a tener ese tipo de intercambios. El tema en este caso es que los fondos tienen que ser gestionados por la persona que va a hacer el intercambio o la pequeña estadía.
Thanks for that. So there was a question from Francisco about Conéctate A+, and I just wanted to quickly let everyone know, and maybe Alexandra and Randy have something to add. But we do have, for the second phase of this project, we will have a small grants program, and we will be releasing more information about the small grants program very soon. It should be getting going by the end of the year. So as far as I understand, it won't be so much scholarships for a student to study at a university, but it could be small grants for research that focuses on ecosystems, climate change, and health in Switzerland and the tropical Andes and Central America region. So Alexandra, Randy, did you want to add anything in response to that question?
Gracias, Gabriel, y gracias por la pregunta. Ay, perdonen que estoy en un mal... Eso. Sí, en realidad tenemos pensado sacar un nuevo llamado a becas, son para investigación, y en realidad lo que también priorizamos mucho en estas becas es que haya un grupo interdisciplinario y que, digamos, hayan colegas de universidades suizas y de universidades de nuestra región de los Andes tropicales y de América Central. Priorizando un tema, en cada caso, digamos, se prioriza un tema específico. En este caso, por ejemplo, era la contribución a los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible, identificar brechas o llenar estas brechas, por ejemplo, vacíos de conocimiento para cumplir esos objetivos de desarrollo sostenible. Entonces, estamos, digamos, trabajando en los criterios para esta segunda llamada a las becas. Y estamos previendo que tal vez a finales de año, a inicios del siguiente, podamos sacar un llamado, pero todavía no está confirmada la fecha. Entonces, si nos siguen en la página tanto del CLOC como del MRI, que también saca las noticias de la plataforma de Conéctate A+, y también, toda la lista de ahora podemos nosotros también mandarles noticias de la red regularmente con esta información. Entonces, apenas tengamos, haremos seguramente la difusión de información de las becas.
Thanks, Alexandra. Randy, did you have anything to add?
Bueno, lo único que comentar es que no son becas exclusivas, o sea, no son becas enfocadas para hacer estudios, son becas enfocadas para hacer pequeñas investigaciones, son fondos semilla. Sin embargo, esto se puede tomar como una oportunidad para hacer el contacto con los profesores en las universidades suizas. Muchas veces esto puede facilitar que se haga un trabajo, por ejemplo, se puede redactar un paper síntesis y este paper síntesis puede ser trabajado con investigadores dentro de la Universidad de Zurich o de otra universidad en Suiza y de esta forma se puede aprovechar para establecer un contacto y que luego permita hacer un doctorado, un postdoctorado dentro de las universidades en Suiza.
Okay, thank you. And just to mention, I did put in the chat the link to the website for Conéctate A Plus and to the MRI website, where if you go to the bottom of any page on the MRI website, you can subscribe to the newsletter that always has a section focused on Conéctate A Plus news, activities, events, funding calls. And you can also get in touch with Alexandra if you'd like to be added to a mailing list specific to Conéctate A Plus activities. I want to go back to one earlier question really quickly, and I hope we'll have time for this last one for Alexandra after that. But for Randy, Sedef, and Henriette, there are a couple of questions about what if someone is a student but perhaps has a family as well, or are there age limits or certain ages and life stages for these scholarships? And I think that'd be something to be interesting to address quickly if you can.
Absolutely, I can maybe answer that question by sharing my screen here. So just to show you, that's actually the page where you need to select your country. Just maybe as an example, Argentina, and then we have now the documentation on possible PhD scholarships. And then here you have all the information you need. So when it comes to the age limit, here you can see the applicant's date of birth after December 1985. So this is maybe every documentation that can vary. And to be honest, there are age limitations, and also when you look at the postdoc possibility, for instance, in Argentina for the scholarship, it is stated here that you have to have or have to achieve that you need to achieve your PhD degree between 2017 and 2021. So it can't be before 2017 or the 31st December of 2017. So this page is for every application when it comes to the Swiss Government Excellent Scholarships. That's a good point of start.
For the exchange programs, we don't set age limits. What we do check is, are you enrolled in a partner university or a member university? But it could be an issue regarding your visa application, because you will apply for a student visa. And if you're older than 30, it might be harder to argue that you're still in education. So yeah, it could be more problematic on this level, but not from our side.
Thanks, Henriette. Randy, did you have anything to add regarding that question?
No, de hecho creo que lo cubrieron Sedef y Henriette.
Okay, thanks so much. And I did see, oh, sorry.
Perdón, solo insistiría en que
I did see
también, en que la pregunta también hacía mención a si había familia. Entonces tal vez Sedef o Henriette pueden comentar algo.
Actually, sorry, do you want to go first? Yeah, I mean, actually, we rarely ever have cases where exchange students are married with kids. I think we had 2 cases who managed to come with their partner and kid, but again, it could be more of a problem on the level of your visa application. For us, no, that's fine, but yeah. So, but it's also a very rare case for me, so I'm not very well informed on this, but one of my colleagues, she has more cases like that since she's looking after international students. So if you would like to come to the University of Bern and you're in that situation, you can contact me and I can try to get more information on that.
I mean, we have cases when it comes to family reunification, and from the University of Zurich's perspective, that's not a problem. Again, how Henriette said it, it could be a problem. It could be harder to get the student visa from the migration office. So it is possible, and we have cases, but again, you have to have then the financial proof. You have to say, okay, my scholarship is enough for my family to provide a living in Zurich. So these are all points who are actually made by the migration office and not from the University of Zurich. And also when it comes to housing, for instance, most of our housing opportunities that we have, those are provided just for students and not for families. So it is possible, but it is harder.
Thanks for addressing that. It definitely seems to be a theme that anything is possible, but it's important to plan ahead, have enough time, and look at the specific requirements in your home country, your home institution, your institution in Switzerland, and your canton in Switzerland in which your institution's located. So we are slightly over. I think, unfortunately, we don't have any more time for any questions today. But as we said, we'll be sure to share the slides with everybody's contact information. And thank you, Sedef, Randy, Henriette, and Alexandra for sharing today. All of our emails, links, everything will be made available to you, and feel free to get in touch with any of us if you have any questions at all. I'd like to say thank you to you all for coming and taking time out of your day to find out about some of the opportunities here in Switzerland. And thanks so much to all of my colleagues for helping make these opportunities more accessible and more widely known. So maybe if you all want to say anything else, thanks or bye, but yeah, we'll be sure to follow up with all the information you need.
Sí, muchas gracias. Simplemente invitarlos a que se unan a estas aventuras que son salir fuera de nuestra zona de confort y invitarlos a que vengan a Suiza. Realmente es una experiencia de vida.
I want to say thank you as well. Thank you for your great organization and for this webinar. And yes, it is maybe cliche, but start connecting the dots, and the dots are not just in the Andes, maybe in the Alps for you. So maybe see you soon.
Thanks as well from my side. My exchanges were so life-changing that I decided to make a career out of it and start working in an international environment. I hope you get this opportunity as well. It is really a great experience that you don't forget.
Tal vez igual solo para agradecer a todos por estar por este tiempo y por que se unan igual a nuestra red de Conéctate A+. Síganos y tendrán más noticias de todas estas oportunidades de becas o también intercambios. Gracias, Gabriel, por la organización.
Okay, thanks everyone. Bye and have a great rest of your day wherever you are and whatever time it is. Thanks.
Chao, un gusto.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Chao.
bye.